blah 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 blah.
Gonna blow your eardrums. My singing is crap.
Blah 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 blah.
Go up the hill, you stupid hedgehog! Tails can do it!
Darkwing Duck.
Darkwing
If there's
Duck.
trouble, you call DW.
Who?
Darkwing Duck.
Let's get dangerous.
I may not
Earthbound.
be a smart man, but I know what love is.
Oh.
Oh, whatever. That was worth it.
Sven! Put the present down, that's not yours! Why is he from Jersey?
We did it.
That's it? You did it with one man and half of a life left?
That's right. Loki has gone down. Arthur used his magic weapon to finally destroy Loki.
Yeah!
Alright,
We do the
everybody.
shuffle?
Let's shuffle.
I'm freaking racing, I'm freaking rad. Yeah, I'm rad! Can you look how rad I am?
All right, I'm here. Is Baron here? Baron, say something.
Baron is here.
All
Can
right,
you hear
good.
me? This-
Yep, we're picking up
Baron
Baron.
is
We're
here.
picking up
All right,
everyone.
good.
Yep. Oh, I
Hey
hear
there,
an echo.
Naku. Hey there, Slippy. Welcome in.
Is it for me? No, it's not for me. All right, cool. All right.
So tonight. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, we have our RA review that is now on Scanlines. So we're back. We're on Scanlines, and this is what we're doing. I don't know, Baron. Are you sharing your camera yet or no?
I'm sharing my
Screen.
browser.
Yeah, that's fine. We won't. We'll just go into this and talk, and then when we play our games, I guess we'll do the camera or whatever. It doesn't matter.
Sure. Yeah, I'm not really set up to show camera over Discord, but we can do that anyway. So we ended off last week. We kind of ran into our Monster Hunter Open Lobby, and we ended off around here. I think we talked about Dexter's Laboratory, Disaster Strikes. I remember talking about that. I don't remember talking about Populous, so I think we were around here. I don't remember talking about Toxic Crusaders.
Yeah, we were right after Dexter, and that's where we stopped.
Okay. So let's start off with this is still back on the 31st. So this is into last week, is that right? Or this is the Sunday of last week. Yeah, Sunday of last week.
Yeah, Toxic Crusade is horrible, and I bought that not knowing because I was like, "Oh, this is cool," but we'll get into that. We'll look at this because now we actually have a lot more time to discuss the games in depth, talk to you guys about them, maybe play a game on stream. So yeah, we can. Sky's the limit with this. So, and we're gonna keep this. Baron and I talked about this. We're gonna keep this consistent. Every single Monday is going to be the the RR review, the Retro Achievements review. That way, at least you start off your work week with, oh, hey, listen, on Monday we look at this, we look at other people, and how's everyone doing, and then go from there. So it was a really good idea to do this on Monday, and I like it a lot. I think, and Baron really likes it too. So
Yeah, I mean, we can do the game plan here is we're going to go through the last week's worth of new sets. We're going to cover maybe a little bit more than that this week just because it's our sort of inaugural, and we are kind of just starting from where we left off last time. This is our new time, our new slot, and then once we've gone through this list, we'll go through the followed users list here and just talk about we'll just keep it to talking about folks in our community and the Scanlines group. So we've got that, and then we'll each pick one of the games that has new sets here, and start playing and aim for a particular Chivo. So, all that being said, first game on this list is Populous, the beginning. So Populous, I don't think this was the original version, but this was now I can't think of his name, but there's a certain British guy that raised a lot of hackles that got his start off with Populous and was crowned as like this great designer, and he kind of let it go to his head, and then he made games like Black and White and some other things which were kind of interesting, but maybe promised a little bit more than they actually did.
For Populous? The creator of Populous.
The creator of Populous.
Nice. We have a redeem for a hydrate, Sonic. So Sonic, what we're gonna do is, we're definitely gonna be hydrating through this entire thing because we're gonna be talking a lot. We will do the redeems when we play the games because I guess that'll be on camera. So yeah, but we'll get to those.
I took a drink from my drink anyway.
Oh, all right, I didn't put. Oh, Drake put something up. Peter
Molyneux. Yeah,
Yes.
Peter Molyneux is the guy I was talking about. He got from the success of Populous, he got a little bit too his ego got ahead of him, let's say, and started to upsell some of his games more than he could deliver, which is not uncommon. Not uncommon in the video games industry for devs to do that. Especially since he was, more the designer than the actual programmer, and maybe didn't quite have an idea of really how far development could go. But anyway, so Populous is a game where you're kind of starting a civilization and you're starting off from step one and going forward. It takes a lot of imagination to really, envision what you're supposedly doing in the game. But you get different spells as you go along. You can kind of think of it, if you play Black and White, this is kind of like a more primitive version of that.
I taking you played this version?
I've not played Populous itself. I've not played this one on PlayStation. I played a I don't remember. It was like on a DOS version, something from like the early 90s. This was like late 90s.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think this is the first version of Populous, but I did play because this looks a lot more, 3D-ish.
Yeah, PlayStation 1.
Yeah, it looks like there's some pretty interesting achievements here as far as like 6 spell usages or fewer without a single fight occurring. So like every stage here, they're giving you some different special conditions for the achievement. It's not just like damageless every time. I mean, granted, you're not fighting bosses here, but you have different things available to you, and it's just saying, without using a particular spell. What were you saying?
No, I was gonna say Drake. Populous came out on the SNES era.
Oh, maybe that's the one I played. Was the Super Nintendo one?
How many achievements are in this set? Oh wow, that is
53. So kind of mid-sized, not huge, not small. Looks like they gave you a special condition achievement for every level.
Now,
so that's kind of interesting.
Will this be something that you're going to play?
Can't say I'm particularly interested in this one. I mean, I've played the Sims games before. I don't mind playing, like SimCity or something every once in a while. I have to be kind of in the right mood for it, but it's not my preferred genre. How about you?
I same with you. I agree with what you said 100%. It's not my, the Sims are. I have to be in the mood to play either like SimCity or The Sims. This doesn't really look like it's entertaining enough for me. So probably this one I'll pass over.
Lemmings meets humans. That's an interesting way to put it. So let me just pull this up here, just so we can see some gameplay. It's not really a puzzle game exactly. I mean, you have some tools, you have some goals, but it's really like the idea is you're building like a civilization. So it's kind of like Civilization, or Sims.
You must find a way to cross the water and reach it.
The water.
You can worship this stone head to aid your cause.
Worship idols to aid your cause. Oh, this. I knew some kid that was into this. We didn't talk to him very much. We were too busy playing other games. No, his name wasn't Ian. Ian. His name was actually, I think, Fernando or Fernandez or some. I think something like that. I mean,
Aid you
whatever.
faster if you command 2 of your followers.
I mean, it's a game. It's something different, you know.
I guess.
So if you're maybe tired of 2D platformers, or you're maybe tired of 3D action games or something, this is a decent change of pace.
Truthfully, I'd rather play this on a PC than on this.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy's
It's
name.
definitely want a mouse and key. Well, not necessarily keyboard, but mouse for
Mouse.
this. There's such thing as a PlayStation mouse, and on emulator you can like give yourself a PlayStation mouse essentially, which might be the better way to play that.
I agree.
Honestly.
Ooh.
Next up on our list is Micro Machines.
Oh, Master System. Okay. Long dramatic pause over.
Yeah, it's a Master System game, Micro Machines. I think we've seen some of these games on other systems. I want to say Foxy's probably badged the NES one, I think, and maybe the Game Boy one.
The NES one's really good.
Hey, Cosmic, welcome
Hey,
in.
Cosmic. I like the NES one a lot. This one, I'd have to talk to Owaz about this one. I don't have much working knowledge on the Master System when it comes to games. It looks okay.
It's going to be pretty similar.
Uh,
It's kind of an isometric racing game. We recently, not necessarily recently, but a couple weeks back of our review, or maybe even a month back, we saw some of the stuff coming in on Neo Geo CD, and they had a couple games like this as well, like Rally Chase and
yeah.
oh, there was some other one, but I don't know. It's a little bit different. It's a little bit different than being behind the wheel exactly. You're kind of controlling it, top down, and your left and right are kind of based on what direction you're currently pointing. I think it's not quite tank controls, but it takes some getting used to. When you play like Wave Race, it's a similar setup.
Now, I don't know about, well, Baron, yeah, probably Baron, because you and I are like close in age. But everyone in chat, growing up, micro machines were like the in thing, and I like micro machines for the NES. I mean, would this be a set that I personally myself would do? Probably not, because I don't like a lot of Master System games. Don't tell Owaz I said that; he'll kill me. But I would rather choose the NES one over this. But it doesn't. You have 43 achievements in here, which isn't, I mean, I guess bad for a Micro Machine game. But again, came out in 1994. Micro Machines was super popular, so I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, I would almost say like the Hot Wheels were kind of bigger than the Micro Machines.
I agree with you on that one. Yeah.
They were both kind of the same thing. Selling little cars for kids that were into them, and there were quite a few kids that were pretty big into like Hot Wheels and Micro Machines and so on. I don't think you'd find much of a difference between, like, I'd be kind of surprised if there was a huge difference between Master System and an NES version. I think it might be a matter of performance or whether controls feel stiff or not. Those might be concerns, but I wouldn't expect huge differences.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, if you played, the only thing that I would say would make this a little bit enjoyable is I do happen to like the Master System controller. Kind of reminds me of the Neo Geo controller, where it has that star on it for, you have better control with the directional pad. So that would pretty much make the game a little bit more bearable, but whatever. So if you want to move on to the next one.
Yeah. So next up we got Toxic Crusaders,
Hmm.
which you and Slippy were kind of talking about early on. It's an NES beat 'em up that kind of follows. It's interesting because NES is obviously more aimed at a younger audience, I think, than well, actually, I guess I take that back because they had the horror games, the Nightmare on Elm Street, the um, Halloween. Actually, I don't know if they had a Halloween game, but they had Nightmare on Elm Street. They had Chainsaw Massacre, other Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, Castlevania. So they clearly had some horror games on there. So I guess maybe it's not so surprising that it's got a game. But it was kind of an indie movie, the Toxic Crusader thing. It got a cartoon, which is maybe the more surprising thing. And I think this one's based on that cartoon.
I think so, yeah. And like to talk about this game, I stupidly bought this game at a what was it, at a convention or something like that, because I happen to like the Toxic Crusader. I think it's kind of funny. I met the creator of the Toxic Crusader, so eventually, if I run into him in Soho or Lower Manhattan, I could, and if under a blue moon have this game on me, he could sign it. But um, it's a really bad game. The controls are very janky, and it's just overall weird. And like what Knocker said, like there's an attack button. The strong attack is a select, so you're doing like A, B, and select in order to battle. And having your directional pad and having select like almost right there is kind of even weird. I mean, now we could set that out on RetroArch and everything with the controls, but it was just a very weird game to play. I didn't really enjoy it that much. Um, Baron, would this be something you'd be interested in doing?
Particularly, I'm not a big fan of the Toxic Crusader franchise to begin with. And I'm not huge on beat 'em ups. I mean, I played my fair share, and playing them with other people is kind of fun. Like I played a bunch of Streets of Rage with Nacho when she was over, and played some Mutation Nation with my brother, and that was kind of fun. But they're really not my go-to genre either. I'm definitely more of an RPG kind of guy. Puzzle games, kind of not so much Twitch reaction, response reaction. I can be in the right mood for it though. And given that it's a jank game, maybe we have like a Jankuary or some kind of event like that where we're going for jank games,
This would be it.
or something like that. This might make a good jank game play through.
I do agree. But other than that, I don't even think. Yeah, Knocker City's definitely not doing it. I would never do it. Slippy, I don't think Slippy does retro achievements, but I know Slippy wouldn't. Play this game. This game's pretty bad. Now, on the other hand, this one.
Yeah. So next up on our list is Street Fighter 3, Double Impact. I'm not super familiar with the Street Fighter franchise as far as 3 and onward. I kind of stopped paying attention. Like by the time 3 came out, I was like, arcades were kind of a done thing, more or less. There's a few of them left over. They've kind of had a resurrection since then. But like when this came out was kind of around the time when arcades were dying off here in the U.S.
Yep.
Especially in the smaller towns, maybe less so in the larger cities. You probably still had some in like New York and whatnot. But like this was really the kind of game that you'd play in an arcade with other people.
When did this come out?
This is the Dreamcast version. This came out in 2000.
Okay.
So you're probably more the person to comment on whether this was a good entry or not, or whether this was a good port or not.
I mean, I remember playing it on. I remember playing this in the arcade, and a friend of mine absolutely loves this game. He ranked like 5th in New York City for this game. So he's a real Street Fighter person when it comes to this. This is what, Second Strike? Go up again. Let me just see real quick, because I'm following with
Double
you.
Impact.
Double Impact. So I have Super Street Fighter 3 on Saturn. I don't think it's the same version. I would have to get up and look, but From what I know, this one in the arcade was good. The characters were weird. Like you had your normal standard characters like Ryu and Ken, and then you had these other weird characters that were in it, and like Oro, and it was a weird game. I know they had like the parry system that was in there, and you know, I don't know. To me, it was just a very weird type of game. I mean, that's about really all I know with this. Slippy seems like he probably would even know more than I would. So it was a brand new cast essentially. Yeah, that I remember. It was definitely a brand new cast. Third Strike is the perfect version of it.
Yeah, he says this was the second iteration of Street Fighter 3.
Oh wow.
Most of the Dreamcast games were arcade perfect, he says, and there was a third one that is usually considered the better one, the perfect version or the final version. So I'd imagine basically third probably had whatever extra characters they added at the end and all the characters together. So if you were gonna go out and like play one of them just to play them, you'd probably play that Third Strike.
The one that I'm thinking of that I have is Street Fighter 3 Zero. So it's a little bit. I think Zero's gonna have different characters in it than this one.
I mean, there was a Street Fighter Alpha Zero or Alpha 3, or I think sometimes called Street Fighter Zero 3.
Oh.
That's a different series altogether.
Yeah, you are right. Then Zero is the Alpha series in America. So you have Street Fighter. So I have Street Fighter Alpha 3. Okay. Thank you for that, guys, for clearing that up. Yeah, so then it's Street Fighter Alpha 3. So then no, this one I don't. Yeah, this one I don't know about too much.
Okay. Well, all right then. There's some pretty interesting achievos on here that are specific to particular characters, pulling off particular movesets and combos with those
there
characters.
it is, the Raging Demon. Pull that off right there. That's interesting.
Huh. He says, my friends and I consider Alpha 3 to be the best in the franchise. Do you mean the best in the Street Fighter franchise overall, or the best in the Alpha franchise?
Alpha 3 was good. Alpha 3 was damn good. That's why I got it on the Saturn. Oh, Alpha 3? Overall.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of like super Street Fighter or anything on the NES series of Street Fighters. My Street Fighter, my main Street Fighter is Alpha, and then Alpha 2. Those were always my favorite. Then Marvel vs. Capcom, and then X-Men versus Street Fighter. Capcom and compensating, a bunch of the other fighting people that were in there from Street Fighter. Dreamcast version had a world tour. No. That's pretty cool, actually. I didn't even know that. Thanks for that, Slippy.
Interesting. RPG fighting game. Well, anyway, so this was Street Fighter 3 Double Impact. So if you're good at 2D fighters, you like the Street Fighter franchise, this might be an interesting one to play. As Slippy said, there's a third what did he say? Third Strike version that probably has even more characters. So if they have a set for that, maybe play that one first. Looks like there's ones in the arcade for the second Impact and for New Generation. There's already arcade sets. But if you've already got those and you're looking for something else to badge, maybe this is your go-to, just for relatively easy chivos. Next up, we got Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time. So this is one of the this is when they were taking the Prince of Persia series and making them into 3D action adventure games, kind of along the same. Along a similar vein as like the maybe not Super Mario 64, but maybe more like not even like God of War. I think these are a little bit more puzzly than God of War. Not sure what I would compare this to, but they were interesting. I never got around to playing any of them.
I never played this one either.
Looks like a lot of these are progression. There's a couple of missables. What were we saying?
I was gonna ask you if you want, since you and I never played any of these, you want to go and look up what the gameplay looks like?
Sure.
I like to see it. It might be something I might be interested in. I like Ubisoft games, so Depends on the game, but
If you think so, you are mistaken.
Cosmic says one of his cousins loved this game.
What inspired the Assassin's Creed games? Interesting.
Oh wow. Oh wow. That looks really good. Like the way he was dodging and he comes around, yeah.
Many men that day sought to win honor and glory on the battlefield, that their king might say to them, as Khosrow said to Rustam, "You are the noblest of my warriors."
It's kind of I'll turn it down a little bit. So this is kind of before, this is like along the path, I guess you'd say, to where we got to now of like God of War Ragnarok, where you have really story focused games with only a little bit of action here and there. This is kind of a little bit earlier along the train, so it wasn't quite there. This game is kind of on that route, which is unfortunate because it's kind of been a decrease in game quality overall, that we've had more and more interactive movies that are sold as games. But this isn't quite there yet, so this is interesting.
You'd say it's more of a 3D platformer, Cosmic? It kind of looks like a 3D platformer-esque. I like the way it goes. I mean, it really does remind me of the way God of War was. Like with the way the wall exploded, you have to fight enemies. That's kind of how like God of War. Yeah, when God of War came out, that's how God of War was. That was a phenomenal game.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. So this is, I would compare this game to like God of War, Uncharted, Assassin's Creed. Though, yeah. So if you like those games, or you played this one when it was around, you want to go back and relive your nostalgia, this might be a good one to go for.
How many achievements are in this set?
47, so not a huge set. It looks like there's some extra collectibles to find, like secret areas and things that are missables. That's kind of cool. Health upgrades, stand upgrades. Coming soon in a subset. Enter the dev room. There's an Easter egg level. Interesting.
Oh, that's cool, an Easter egg. I like when they do that in games.
Was the peak for Prince of Persia, but just about all of them are fun games. Yeah, I've heard that a lot of the people that enjoyed, like a lot of people enjoyed this one, and then what came after was like good, but not quite as good. And then not, kind of mid, not quite as good, and then so on and so forth. And I think it kind of suffered the 90s, well, not 90s, I guess it's 2000s, but the darker, every new one has to be darker and grittier than the last, that kind of thing. So that's not super unexpected.
That did seem like the flow that came out with those type of games.
Yeah, sequelitis, I guess you could call it. Next up, we've got a subset that came out for Puyo Puyo Da. So this is one of the later Puyo Puyos on Dreamcast. If you're familiar with the series, it's kind of a what I call it, a puzzle game. It's sort of a competitive, sort of Tetris-like game, more like maybe Dr. Mario. It's kind of its own thing. It works a lot like we've seen Panic Bomber. there's a couple different iterations of this kind of game. I think the Mean Bean Machine on Sega of Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine is kind of the same playstyle, I believe. I've never really been able to figure these games out exactly how they work, but here you go. If you're good at the Puyo Puyo games, here's a bonus set for you to get some even harder achievements. And it's fairly large and worth quite a lot of points. Robotnik is a Puyo game, yeah.
I've never played this.
Yeah, I would probably. I think we've talked about some of the Nazo Puyo games, which are like individual like puzzles of how do you where do you place the colors to get the desired effect. So I'm probably gonna play some of those at some point and see if I understand the Puyo games a little bit better. They're kind of their own thing. Vance is like a god at the Panic Bomber version, but
Really?
anyway. Yeah, he went through that one with I think he managed a 1cc, or he got
Wow.
pretty close. Anyway, next up we've got a boxing game. Wade Hickston's Counter Punch on GBA. 2004. So go ahead.
Seems interesting.
Yeah, this might play kind of like the Punch-Out games. Beat all fighters without going past round 1. Ooh, interesting. So KO'd them in the first round. You can buy upgrades, apparently. You get referee hats. That's fun. Hire all the possible assistants.
Cosmic says this one looks cool.
Yeah, let's take a look and see how this one plays out. If it's like a Punch-Out. Certainly the picture makes it look like a Punch-Out game. This is what was it? Wade Hickston? Wade Hickston. Counter Punch GBA gameplay.
That cartoon.
Oh, yeah.
Cartoony. What is it? Game Boy Advance.
Oh, he throws a raccoon at you.
This is comical.
Okay.
This one's good.
Okay, so it looks like this would definitely be up Wise Man's alley. He's
Probably.
he's going for the subset on Punch Out, and this looks like very much a Punch Out game.
So since we have a lot of people saying that this looks cool and great, do we have a potential RR game that we could put up?
Yeah, let's add this one to the list of where's that one? There's like an RR ideas list here somewhere. There we go. So this is Wade Hickston's Counter Punch GBA. Yeah, this is the Punch-Out like game. This is Wade Hickston's Counter Punch. So might be kind of interesting if you're good at Punch-Out.
Seems interesting enough. I would do this one. If it came up on like a review or something, I would definitely play it.
Chrono played this and said it kind of sucked. Yeah, I feel like if we probably would have heard about it later or heard about it more if it was especially good. But it looks like a Punch-Out clone. But might still be kind of fun anyway, just for the humor value. All right, what else we got here? So we're gonna move through that one. Got some homebrews and hacks. We're not gonna worry about those ones. I got a prototype. Max Payne. Ultima. All right. So we got another Pac-Man game. This one looks like a Tetris game.
Mm-hmm.
Puzzle. Interesting. Cancel your only ferry. Cancel a ferry. 30 levels.
Just don't picture.
Clear 100 stages. If that gets put up on RR wheel, would be an interesting game, but I might pick an evil game. Just don't pick trash. Alright, so let's take a look at this one. This is Pack Attack, Mega Drive, Genesis, Game Boy.
Well, that looks pretty cool.
Oh. So this one kind of has some elements of Puyo Puyo as well, but kind of its own thing. That might be interesting. I'll toss that one on the RR list as well, since I got it open.
Nicola being a troll.
It's not evil, it's just wanting to give people garbage. Pack Attack is an odd puzzle game.
Now, this one I would throw on if I had nothing to do with my life. So, it looks cool. It's a different spin on Pac-Man meets Tetris and having a baby, but I would not go out of my way to play this. So,
yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily put it on my want to play list, but maybe put it in the stack for retro review at some point, or reviewers roundtable rather, or even maybe a challengers game, because it does have a score. Kind of doubt people will be practicing this one. But oh well. Next up, we got a prototype called Super Sushi Pinball. It's another pinball game. We actually watched Sark play this one. Was it last week? 2 weeks ago? Yeah, maybe like 2 weeks ago, right when it came out.
He is like a pinball master, isn't he?
He is, but this particular game he was not very impressed with. He said the physics were pretty bad on this one.
Max scores 25 points. Knocker says this is bad. So the sushi is bad. All right, we got that.
Tough to learn. Super Sushi's awful. Max score is worth 2.5. Is worth 25 points. Wow. What is the max score on this? Max your score during a star? 25 points. Mega Million Madness. I guess that really depends on how difficult it is to get to max score. For most pinball games, it's really difficult. So 25 points for max score is kind of like bleh. It's usually a 50-pointer, like on Alien Crush to get 250 mil. To get max on that one is insane, but 250 mil is kind of the accepted max, I guess. That's a 50-pointer.
After this game, there was one that you skipped over that I just wanted to throw some attention to. That was fun.
Pack Attack Super Sushi? Max Payne?
No. It was you scroll down a little bit. It was the Good Boy Galaxy.
Oh, well, I mean, that was a homebrew.
Yeah, it's not I mean, if you want to go into it, I mean, we can, but I was looking at it and I was watching some people play it. It's kind of comical and whimsical game. I mean, if you're interested in just throwing something on and just playing like some dumb, like platformer, whatever, this is definitely going to be the game for you. It's a big, it seems like a little bit of a big badge to go ahead and get done, but from what I saw with the gameplay, it kind of looks adorable.
Interesting. Yeah, it's a fairly large set here.
It is.
125 achievements.
Yeah, it
is.
is.
More than 1,000 points. It's a Metroidvania. So, if you enjoy Metroidvanias, this one might be a pretty good one. The retro ratio isn't especially high on this one. Looks like a lot of people give it a shot, and not a whole lot of people have gone through.
No.
That might just indicate a lot of people have booted it up and not actually played it. You never know. But this is going to be a freebie that you'd go to the official forum topic to find the downloadable site. So it would probably be right there. Or digital purchase. Oh, okay. Okay, so it's a homebrew that's sold. Okay, it's not a freebie. Well, there you go. It's on itch.io, indie game. Neo Retro. Yeah, you have to buy it. We support people that are still making games and selling them on this channel. It's not just emulated old stuff. It's gonna be on Switch soon.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
I'll look out for it on the Switch. I thought it looked adorable. It's a little dog running around and Metroidvania game. I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that could be fun. Next up we got Max Payne.
Have you ever played a Max Payne game before?
I don't remember. I might have. It's over the shoulder third person shooter. Or not third. Yeah, third person shooter, I guess I'd say. Kind of has some of the. I'm not sure if it's the first game that introduced like bullet time in the game. But that was one of its selling points, was to have like a bullet time kind of mechanic where you would like essentially could pause the game and aim shots at particular enemies. The crit system in Fallout actually works kind of similarly, but the VAT system in the Fallout first person shooter games, and of course there was a Matrix game that had the bullet time, given that was the whole shtick of the Matrix movies.
I remember playing the Matrix one. I think it was either on GameCube or something. I enjoyed that one. It was weird, but it was, everyone played it. I mean, the movie was humongous when it came out.
Slippy says Max Payne was amazing. I went back to play it a few years ago and it was bad.
Yeah. Some of these
so maybe didn't age well as much.
Some of these 2D, what I've noticed from talking to people is some of these 2D platformers 2D like shooter games like this really didn't age well, and people don't want to go play them because they look horrible. At the time it must have been great. People were like, wow, look at this, I mean, this is good, and then they load it up now and it's just yeah, well, all right, I'm just gonna move on.
I was gonna say it's not really 2D, it's 3D. But
3D. Sorry, 3D. Yeah.
I mean, it's I don't know if I'd really call it a platformer per se either, but it's just like a over-the-shoulder third-person shooter, and like the games that went from a more realistic look with 2000s era graphics, they definitely have not aged as well. This is certainly true. As far as graphics go, because they don't games that are more stylistic and more artistic, I think, tend to age better. That being said, I guess a wider angle to that would be to say that the N64 3D games generally have graphics that have aged better than most of the PlayStation and PlayStation 2 era games. That said, some of those games still have really good gameplay, and they do stand out. And I think Max Payne is definitely interesting historically for kind of setting up that bullet time mechanic and turn it off. But I've seen a lot of people play through it, and there's a lot of levels that are really, really, really tedious. Especially, coming from playing games that are a little bit more where they really had a more of a cutting floor, where they've cut out parts that aren't really challenging but just tedious, and where enemies are like bullet spongy. And I believe the hard on this is more of like you die in a single hit, you die from taking a single hit, and enemies take a bajillion hits to kill anyone.
Oh, bullet sponges?
Yeah. So that's also probably what leads to it being more tedious and painful, especially to do like the badge for it if you are trying to go for the badge. Trying to do, like damageless on the hardest difficulty or whatever. And it does, I'm not sure if these are if you'd be able to get like a double pop by doing the harder one, when they have separate difficulty levels on this like this. I would hope so. I would hope you'd be able to play through on the harder difficulty and pop the earlier achievements. That being said, I wouldn't be too enthusiastic about playing this on the hardest level just because it's not hard. It's just tedious.
Nah, I probably wouldn't. I wouldn't go back to this. I never played it to begin with, so I mean, I don't think it's something I will play. The opening looks pretty cool from what it shows in that screenshot above, but the start of the game, I mean, that's really about it. Cosmic says it's depressing and the story's awful, so.
Well, it did try to be kind of a very gritty comic book style in terms of the way the storytelling and the cinematics played out. The gameplay itself, went more for that 3D realism look, which wasn't terrible. I mean, some of the games from then are still very playable. Like I'd go back and play Siphon Filter. Like I wouldn't mind going for the badge on that one. But
that was a fun game, Siphon Filter.
Yeah, and like Metal Gear Solid 1, Metal Gear Solid 2, Metal Gear Solid even 3, like those are decently fun games. I haven't played them on harder difficulties. I don't know if that's the more tedious kind of difficulty, but yeah, I don't know. It might be worth playing on just the normal difficulty just to play it and beat it. But I don't know if I'd go back and play and badge Max Payne.
Wow.
You need to host the show. Do you disagree with us that strongly?
I think so. Now, wow.
Anyway,
let's look at the box art. The box art has everything. I mean, if I was in a store and I saw that type of box art, I would be like, man, this game's gonna look awesome. I mean, dude's coming out of a portal. He's got a ray gun. There's a guy behind him. I mean, the Revenge of the Enchantress. This thing's got like Crawl and every other weird sword meets laser gun type of movie that was out there. So let's.
What is that about? Cosmic? Sorry. Go ahead.
Let's see the set for this one. This is on an Apple II. So first okay, I was about to say, is this like an 82, 83 type of game? Because I know that art style is like, it's there.
Yeah, this is from 82. This was published by Sierra Online. This is the Ultima series by Richard Garriott, Mr. Lord British himself. The Ultima series is kind of well known for I wouldn't necessarily say setting the standards, but it was a very early RPG, pre Dragon Quest even.
Wow.
I believe, and kind of you do have to use a lot more buttons on the keyboard for things, for like inventory space and moving stuff around. They were still kind of getting like there weren't a whole lot of other games they could use as a example to figure out how to work certain mechanics. So like the inventory in Ultima is kind of hideous to deal with. Like it's very easy to drop items and not be able to find them. Things like that, especially like quest items. You can unintentionally destroy quest items and soft lock yourself in the game. Things like that. But that being said, it did kind of set out some of the things that would become standard for the genre. And it did have a very creative story of like featuring a whole bunch of fantasy stuff, a whole bunch of sci-fi stuff, all thrown together and mixed up.
I think there's an Ultima on Super Nintendo. I remember seeing that on price charting. I think the Ultima series is on Super Nintendo as well. I don't know about Nintendo, but I think it is on Super Nintendo.
Yeah, it got ported everywhere. So there's up to I think like 9 Ultimas, and there's Ultima Underworld and Ultima Online, which was kind of the first MMO. So it was a series that had a lot of firsts. I'm not sure which one is on Super Nintendo. The one on Nintendo is definitely, it's a lot more difficult to get into, and I never really got into it as a kid. Than like Dragon Quest. Dragon Quest basically took the Ultima series as a model and just figured out how to do pretty much everything better, how to manage the inventory better, how to, set up your basic screens better. But this is kind of interesting from on a historical level, I would say. And the story is entertaining. And there's a shoot 'em up sequence, I think, in one of these where you are like in a spaceship and you have to destroy some other spaceships. So it's really kind of a crazy mixed up story. At least the first couple ones. I think the later ones were more heavily just fantasy. But hey there, Master Welch.
Oh God. So, what would you say, like, for a person like me who's never touched an Ultimate game before, thinking that box art was pretty badass? What would you say, like, would be an introductory Ultimate game to play from your experience? Because it seems like you got enough with the Ultimate games.
I think I've only played I played the first one a little bit and didn't get into it. Didn't get very far. I think I've played 9, maybe a little bit, and I think I might have played Ultima Underworld. I think Underworld is probably the best of them, but it's also like the most evolved, and in some ways less innovative. I don't know that it was really doing anything new, but it was doing what it did well. I hear 7 from what I've read and what I've heard about it. 6 and 7 are considered to have really interesting storylines with some interesting commentary on like religion and cults and things like that. But I'm maybe not the person to ask about Ultima. I'm not any kind of like expert on the series or anything. Like I said, I really haven't invested time into any specific one of them. I haven't broadly played a bunch of them either. So I mean, if I were starting, I'd probably boot up the first one and maybe do it. The NES one is probably a little bit better than some of the early reports on PC and just the original game on Apple and the original game on PC, because those had the computer controls and they had to simplify them for NES, and they probably improved them, I would think, on NES.
So there is an NES one. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
But I don't think you'll enjoy it as much as Dragon Quest.
Dragon Quest is good. I like Dragon Quest is a good game. Let's see what is on Apple II, which is interesting. Let's see what's the other one.
Got Medieval, got Super Pac-Man, Alien Invaders, Gran Turismo, Call of Duty, First Samurai. All right, so next up we got Medieval Resurrection, and I believe this was...
Oh, PSP game.
Yeah, it's a PSP game. I'm not sure if this is a port of the original game, or if this is a side content.
The first game was really good.
Yeah, first game was a 3D platformer with a lot of action. It was a good game, and very
comical.
Very comical, very stylized. Very much in theme. Excuse me, like a Halloween game. Really great Halloween game. Just good fun.
I believe Master Welsh actually played Medieval during Halloween.
Yeah, I think he played a remake or something, or a remaster, right?
I think so.
On PS3 or something like that.
I believe so, yeah.
All right, so I guess there's a lot of mini games in this one as well. There's achievements for that. There's collectathon type things here with chalices.
Oh, the little statues. That's so cool. Like they have the swords and everything's still in it. I really, really enjoyed Medieval as a kid. I played a lot of it. I'm surprisingly enough, I don't know why I never got the game again to begin with, but I really did enjoy it. I don't, however, remember this one coming out for the PSP, so it must not have been that much of a memorable experience, or else I would have followed up with the PSP game. But would this be something that you would play, Baron?
I wouldn't mind playing it. I probably wouldn't go. I'm not gonna put it on my one playlist, especially, but I played a bunch of the original Medieval on PlayStation and enjoyed it quite a bit. Back when it came out, I wouldn't mind replaying that one or playing this one. I'm not sure if this is a sequel or, like I said, it's side content of some kind or just a port of the original game. Looks like it's got quite a few masters already, so it's probably a pretty easy set as far as things go. And it's not a very large set either. It's 51 achievements. So I mean, this could be a fun little Spooktober game. Yeah.
I agree. Doesn't look so bad. I like when he spins his body around. That's actually pretty funny.
It's definitely got a lot of humor into it.
Oh, this is an
Next up, we
arcade
got,
game.
Super Pac-Man on the arcade. So this is another in the Pac-Man series. So you got Pac-Man, you got Pac-Man Jr., you got Miss Pac-Man, now you have Super Pac-Man. It's another maze chase game. I'm gonna guess it plays out somewhat similarly to the originals. Should we take a look?
Yeah, sure.
Super Pac-Man.
I'm kind of happy that we got an arcade game because we haven't been doing many arcade games. I haven't seen pop up lately.
Yeah, we got a few actually. This one and we got a Where's Waldo game on arcade as well. We'll get to that one. All right, so we've got some bigger sprites on this one. Oh, way bigger sprites. And instead of the little dots, you've got like actual apples. So quite an improvement over the original, but still plays pretty much the same way, it looks like. So there you go, Super Pac-Man. Looks like a pretty straightforward set. Matching non-level. I'm not sure what that means. Matching and non-matching for 2,000 and 5,000. But anyway, get a score of 100,000. Eat all the items in a bonus stage. Eat the ghosts. Eat a bunch of ghosts at once. Get up to level 15. Pretty straightforward set.
So
Relatively small.
That's interesting that you bring that up because I did want to touch on this. So if there's a set, like I got stuck in Symphony of the Night. There was a set that I didn't know what I was doing, one of the achievements within Symphony of the Night. And I went and I messaged within that achievement. I was like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. Can someone help me or whatever it is? And like what Baron just did was he went into the achievement itself. And you can write comments in there and people will respond back to them. Normally people will post up like a YouTube video and say, hey, listen, like this is what you can do and this is what helps you and stuff like that. The Symphony of the Night one that I'm talking about, I didn't particularly like the answers that I was getting because it was kind of like cheating to use a macro command set up on the keyboard. It's the bat one, the bat smash for 10 seconds, which is completely stupid because you don't speedrun Symphony of the Night. And they were saying just set up macros to whatever key it is on the computer and just, hit the key and just have it do your wing smash over and over again. But RA is really helpful when it comes to helping people out or achieving the goal as a community of, oh, if someone's stuck on this, let's try to help them out or something. So I'm glad actually inadvertently you brought that up, Baron, so we could just touch on that topic.
It's a pretty friendly community overall. Like it does get fairly competitive at times.
Yeah.
But any fellow people who play RA, a lot of them are pretty forthcoming in if they've gotten that achievement, how they did it. As long as you ask them, relatively recently to when they got it, because a lot of these people play a lot of games, and if you haven't played, if it's been a month since you played something, who knows if you remember anything about it, right? Have to chain them together in a rhythm, from what I've heard.
Yeah, it's more
for that.
for that achievement. Yeah, Knocker, it's more on the lines of you got to consistently hit the button over and over and over again, so it's weird, but Alien Invasion or Magnavox?
Yeah. Next up, we got a Magnavox Odyssey game. Magnavox Odyssey is another one of those systems from the late 70s. kind of predecessor to the Atari. I started playing this one just a little bit just to see what it was like. It's a very bad Space Invaders. I'll just leave it at that. It's a real small set. I was thinking, maybe I'll do this for today's round and go for getting the set or getting a badge or something. But it's pretty bad. Your hitbox is gigantic, and the enemy hitbox is normal. Not a great shoot 'em up, but for what it was for the era, I would definitely choose the Fairchild Channel F Alien Invaders over this one, or Alien Invasion, or just the arcade Taito original Space Invaders. But if you're good at Space Invaders and you've already conquered them all, then here you go. Here's yet another one to conquer. I'm sure Manny Hours will probably grab this one at some point. He's got pretty much all the Space Invaders. Not a lot to say about it other than that. So moving on. Next one up, we got a Gran Turismo game.
Vroom vroom.
And this is the PSP one. This looks like we got the different driving challenges. I'm guessing those are going to be kind of like the license tests.
Yeah, and buying the cars and all that other stuff.
Yeah, so lots of challenges in this one. Basically a Chivo for every challenge.
It's a big set.
Yep.
And you're gonna have, you got to keep in mind, you're gonna have time attacks in this too.
Oh yeah, that's pretty normal. So, a lot of extra stuff in this. The Gran Turismo games involve a whole lot of tuning your car and messing around with, what I want to say, like just your performance and like tuning, switching parts out, all that kind of stuff with your car. It's not just the racing part. There's a whole level of essentially playing mechanic. And then you do have like a main game of going through and doing different races and getting money and buying different cars. Let's see here. Looks like you've got some point-based parts of the game where you're just going for a high score. Get Chivos around buying specific cars. Oof. And then you got your time attack ones.
It's a hefty set.
Ooh, 70 laps. There's some endurance races too.
That's rough to sit there and do 70 laps in one shot. Hope you don't have to go to the bathroom for that one.
I'm sure it's got a pause button.
You might be right.
It is kind of hard to come back after pausing in a race game sometimes.
Yeah, once you get in that rhythm.
But there you go. If you like Gran Turismo, if you like racing games, this one might be up your alley.
What other? I didn't know there was some other stuff on the list for racing. Let's see what else we have.
Next up, we got Call of Duty 2, the big red one. I think for a lot of people, this was a pretty good one. This was relatively early on in the COD series. I think my brothers got this one. Personally, I was never really a big fan of first-person shooters on consoles, so I didn't really play it much. But they enjoyed it quite a bit. If anything, I kind of prefer the Medal of Honor series over this one. But looks like all you got to do is beat the game on hard. Real straightforward set.
It's always good when they're simple like that. You just blast through them.
Yeah, I think I don't remember if there was many like extra areas in these games. Medal of Honor had a couple, like Easter eggs and special secret hidden areas with extra ammo and heals and things. I think Call of Duty had some, but it looks like you don't have to find any of those for achievements. That's a little disappointing, actually. But oh well. Next up, we've got a platformer from Kimco called
Oh.
First Samurai on Super Nintendo.
I remember this one.
I'm not familiar with it at all, so do tell.
It's platformer, samurai-esque type of game. It's not. It's yeah, Naga's right. It's goofy. It's fun, but it's stupid fun. It's like an outer space, I guess, kind of samurai game. From what I remember, it's really about it. It didn't stand too much. Like it didn't pop out at me or anything. That's about as far as I can go with this one, from what I remember. I didn't know any kids that really had it. I just remember seeing the box, renting it on a weekend one time, and then it's not a bad game. I rented it at one time, played it for like an hour or two, and then kicked myself in the ass saying, "Why didn't I rent Secret of Mana?" But yeah, it's about it. So,
Some pretty weird achievements too.
Really?
Yeah, like travel from the right side of the east tower to the boxes under base of the spike pit to the center of the west tower in under 35 seconds. So basically, it's a bit of a platforming race challenge that is an achievement. From the lone ledge under the stairs to the end under the hand of the palace samurai in under 2.5 minutes. Crouch to start reset. How weird. I've never seen one of those in a 2D platformer. I mean, I've seen like timed segments. Like there's plenty of beat this level in under this time or whatever in like Donkey Kong Country, but I've never seen like race to get from one part of a level to the other in a certain time. Kind of crazy. Might be interesting though. Yep. Kill enemies with different weapons. I don't know. Maybe we'll check it out sometime. Alright, what else we got here? Looney Tunes, Jumping Flash, Dead and Fury, Touch the Dead, X-Files. Alright, so we've got a Looney Tunes game, Marvin Strikes Back. Foxy actually did us the favor of playing this one, I think last Saturday.
Yeah, you gave it to him on Saturday, from what I remember.
Yeah. Not a bad game. Not a bad game. Not like great or anything, but it was okay. Just kind of a top-down action-adventure game. Bedtime for me, so I'm going. All right, catch you later, Slippy. Thanks for stopping by.
Yep, thanks, Slippy.
Have a great night's sleep, man. Uncover 100% of the map. Accumulate 400 gold. That's a pretty achievable set.
I know a lot of us in Scanline like the Looney Tunes games, so this might be something to throw up there on what is it, on RR. I know Foxy was playing it. It looked tedious is the word. I mean, so I don't know. We'll see as we get more into it. I think you only played it for a little bit, but
yeah, I'll put it on the list. Next up we've got Jumping Flash 3. Knocker was saying this is kind of one of the crappier ones. I have no idea. I've not really delved too much into the Jumping Flash games. They're kind of a 3D platformer from a first-person perspective. The original was very early in the days of 3D, so you have a very limited viewing area. Like what's actually loaded in front of you is pretty small, so it's a little bit difficult to go very far forward because you can't see very far forward. Your distance, your visual distance is very limited, kind of like being in a fog. I don't know if that's as much an issue in the later ones. I would hope less and less of an issue. I know Foxy played through the first two and enjoyed them quite a bit. But I've heard tell that some people get sick from these games. We could watch some of this one and see how it plays. It's still PS1 era. Kind of fun. You're in like a robot, a rabbit robot kind of thing that has a very high jump, but looks like you got like a little kind of like fuzzy dice. What do you call that? You there, Sam?
Little, yeah, I'm looking at it. It's like a little robot. I guess I never played any of these.
Still jumping on things to do damage.
Foxy would probably be the person to talk about this because you know he did a Jumping Flash set.
Yeah, he did 1 and 2. I know in some of the later levels of the first game, you had a lot of levels that were kind of like, they kind of reminded me of Descent. You know, very like they had shooting elements to them. He watched someone play it and it seemed miserable. I don't know. I like watching this. It doesn't look that different from the first 2 games, but who knows?
I mean, it looks alright. I think if I honestly played this, it would kind of make me look a little, make me feel a little nauseous.
Yeah, don't play this if you have any fear of heights. Definitely. I think this would probably trigger folks with fear of heights. But if you like the first 2 games, it might be worth a try. I was thinking of giving this one to Foxy for to swap in, but I've already got Beyond Oasis on his list, and Beyond Oasis is one of those Yuzo Koshiro games. So,
Ooh, Beyond Oasis is a good game.
Yeah, we played that as an RR game, I think, and it was good. I want to go back to it at some point myself. Not necessarily high on my list, but definitely give it a go. Next up, we've got Dead and Furious: Touch the Dead. So this is
DS game.
Yeah, it's a DS game. It's pretty much like a port of the House of the Dead series, kinda. It's got its own story or whatever. So if you like zombie games, if you like House of the Dead, if you don't mind tapping and clicking instead of, I guess it doesn't really matter because you'd be on an emulator, you'd still be clicking. So it'd be about the same as playing a House of the Dead game. So this is Touch the Dead DS gameplay. But it's a rail shooter, and you're basically just, you know, tapping things to attack them, and tapping your I guess you tap and pull to reload. That could get pretty annoying.
For someone that plays a lot of zombie games, I wouldn't play this one.
Yeah, I mean, not bad for what it is, but not really my cup of tea. I'm not big on the House of the Dead series. Wolfie, if Wolfie's around, he might enjoy that one. I think I pointed that one out to him actually when it was came out, because he plays a lot of the shoot 'em up games and some of the other ones. Next up, we've got an X-Files game, which is a survival horror. That's interesting.
I'd play something like this.
And it doesn't look like House of the Dead. Yeah, I mean, it's on DS. It's not great graphics. Anyway, this one might be, if you're in for survival horrors, this might be interesting.
What if it's tank controls?
Yeah, even if we watch a gameplay video, it's not necessarily immediately obvious if it is or not.
Let's see. I asked because I'm interested in this. I happen to like survival horror games on PS2. PS1 not so much. PS2 is where I really came into my own with the survival horror games. I really did enjoy like a lot of Resident Evils and stuff like that. Resident Evil though scared the hell out of me. That was a good game.
Okay, it looks like it's tank controls.
No.
You shoot the cat.
We do not condone animal abuse on this channel, just letting you know.
I was in the doctor's office before, but there's a crime scene lock on the door.
Well, the sheriff should have a record of the combination here somewhere.
Oh, it looks like it sounds like they got the actors of the show to do the voices too, or somebody doing a really good impression.
Oh, if they have the original voice actors from the X-Files, then yeah, I'm gonna be down to play this.
That's interesting. Taking down a sheriff with an ice pick.
He has a shotgun.
Oh, it's got the music. It's got the music from the series. That's fun. Oh, you take down Skitter. Hilarious.
I'm gonna put this one on my list to play.
Yeah, if you're a fan of the series, it might be worth checking out. If you're a fan of survival horror games, it might be worth checking out.
I mean, I'm playing Dead Island 2 right now, and that game is just weird. Weird. Scared the hell. I mean, I was playing it last night. I was watching you stream EO, and Simba ran right past me, and I jumped like out of my chair and almost fell. So I was like, "Whoa!" But yeah,
Get through these. And next up, we've got a shooter on N64, Star Soldier.
Yes.
This was a pretty decent game. I remember playing this at a friend's house and watching him play it. Really more watching him play it than play it myself. But it's a good game, from what I remember.
You liked it?
I mean, he liked it. I liked watching him play it. But had a good time with it. A lot of pretty interesting bosses, if I remember right. So, like, if we go to bring this one up, this is Star Soldier 64 gameplay. Oh, and this one's from Hudson Soft. That's interesting. They were obviously the company behind the PC, CD, and the PCFX, but they're making games here on N64 at the same time.
Doesn't look bad. Controls look a little stiff, but doesn't look so bad. I like when they talk in shmups. Looks pretty cool.
Yeah, and the N64 didn't get a lot of shoot 'em ups. Like, they got Star Fox, but I don't remember them getting a whole ton. So this also stood out just in some ways because there wasn't a whole lot of other competing series on N64 too.
I agree.
Oh, and we should probably look at the set a little bit more than that. Where were we there?
It's like a standard shooter set.
Yeah, so it does look like you want to go through on hard mode to badge it. Oh, there's a couple of death lists. More than a couple. Leave the game with a good ending. Regular difficulty or higher. Master difficulty.
I'd say if you're gonna start off with shooters, start off on easy first. Build your way up to understanding the patterns, the levels, and everything. I was doing that on Free Play Friday with Arrow Flash. It takes you some time to get used to like the boss strats and where the bullets are gonna come up and how to dodge and everything else. So start off kind of like easy first and then go from there. I mean, if you jump right into hard mode, I've always got wiped in hard mode, but I have seen some people, definitely Zash and Game Boy Guru, destroy games in hard mode. So I mean, it definitely is doable.
I mean, if it's your bread and butter, if shoot 'em ups are your
Yes.
bread and butter, then you kind of get used to very similar patterns and you pick it up pretty quick. And they want to be able to be like, yes, I beat it on the hardest mode. So not having to go through easy and normal first makes it, less time spent. Anyway, looks like a pretty decent set, pretty small set as far as things go. Next up, we've got Honda ATV Fever. So this is an ATV racing game. You don't see a ton of ATV games. But it's going to be probably a pretty straightforward set. Win different events, get gold in them, which is probably a matter of so that's probably like a time attack built in. Hold all the lap records, so you have to beat, at the very least, you have to beat the default high scores for laps. Gold achievements, no wipeouts, and then the time attack achievements. You ain't batching them shoot 'em ups, Knocker. Only for the shoot 'em up guy.
I didn't get that one either. I was like waiting to see what he was gonna say other than that.
Yeah, I'm not sure what you're saying there, Knocker. I wasn't saying that I would be able to batch it by any means for the Star Soldier, but don't worry about it.
I
another racing game.
love this game. I absolutely love this. I will try my damnedest to go for the badge for this. I have at least about 60 hours in this game on my safeguard on PlayStation 2. I think this is a phenomenal racing game. If you're into, and I know, Baron, I completely sideswiped you with this game talking about it, but if you're into racing games and if you're into the Skyline GTR, the Skyline GTR had a version which was called the R34. The R34 was the same GTR that Paul Walker drove at the end of Fast and the Furious up against his Toyota Supra. There's Daysun that's in this. Very, very traditional street racing in Japan where you have teams that you're on or you put your badges on your car in this game. What'll happen is you'll pull up to a car, you'll flash your lights behind it. The car, the AI will either tap the brakes to give you the go-ahead, or it'll say nope and just drive. The car will drive off. As you play this game, you build up and build up, get more money. The customizations, and when I say down to the timing of your transmission in the car, like the way you could do your gear ratio from first to fifth and your slip differentials within the car to say are you going to have more position in the front or in the back is down to like at least it's down to like 0.02 where it's so close to almost tuning up the real thing that the customization is crazy. I wish actually DW was here because I'd like to show him this one because I know he favors this one as well. But this is a phenomenal racing game for PS2. Now that I worked it up, sorry about that, Baron.
No problem. Sounds like this is maybe the one to play for you today.
I love.
Go for a specific achievement on this one, maybe.
I would play it on. I would play it on like the physical PS2 if I had it hooked up. But I went into a store. Quick little thing about this. Picked up around the time Gundam Wing was pretty big, so I picked up Gundam Death Scythe, the model, and I picked up this game along with it. And I played this game nonstop and didn't build a model right away. It's a really good game. Like there's so much customization in this game that it's crazy, and even down to like, the R34, or you have different classes. You have a Class A, Class B, Class C, Class D cars. They have the old Supra that's in there. They have the R34, the R35. I think I went with the Supra. I don't think I went with the Skyline because the Supra had a little bit more options. But this is where your Need for Speed should have went, and it kind of didn't go that direction.
Well, it kind of sounds closer to like Gran Turismo in terms of just all the customization you can do on your car.
Right. I even think Gran Turismo it's good with that. I just think this one is straight Japanese street racing, like to the T. I mean, it's like you throw a bad, like if you're like you see the Little Gang, what you're looking at right there, or Rolling Guy. You start off, I think, Rolling Guy, and then you do like quest modes for Rolling Guy, which is the gang, and then you go into Little Gang, and then like people from Rolling Guy get mad at you because you defected from that, and you went into like Little Gang or chose a different gang. And once it comes down to the real end of the game, you could choose your own gang. Like you can make up your own sticker for your gang, and then race against other people and build up your credibility with your street racing gang.
So it's got a bit of a story mode to it too. That's interesting.
Yeah, I didn't mean to like go the detour of hyping this game totally up, but I happen to really like this game.
All right. So Saiyan gives this one his seal of approval of giving this game a shot. If you're into racing games, especially if you're into those that have more customization in them. Personally, I'm not big on those. I don't know. I haven't played racing games very much at all of late, but if I was to play something, I'd probably play like Outrun at this point. But I don't know. This might be interesting at some point.
Like it even gets down. Oh no, sorry. Go ahead, Baron.
Oh, I was just gonna say I'd kind of have to be in the right mood to play racing games. What were you gonna say?
It even gets down to the point where you can mod your car so much that as you drift around the turns, you could tell like even the slightest difference will make the drift go better. Like you'll have a better slide area for the drift, or you'll fishtail completely out of control and smash into a wall.
Good to know.
Oh, it's
the customization actually has an effect. It's not just playing with the numbers.
Yeah, it's really intricate.
Cool. So next up we've got another kind of educational game. This one's on Nintendo DS. It's called Brain Boost Gamma Wave. Most of these are pretty straightforward, small sets, not worth a lot of points. Usually pretty easy to go and badge and master. So if you're looking for kind of this might be less of a meme badge than some of the other ones, because it does look like there's quite a bit of content here that the badges are for, or the achievements are for. But it's kind of a memory game. Might be, like I said, it might be an easy badge.
I remember when those came out.
The Brain Boost games.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever tried playing one of them, but
No,
yeah, I
neither have
remember.
I.
They had Brain Boost games. They had like language coach games, so on. Next up, we've got a Hulk game, Quest Probe, featuring the Hulk. This is a Marvel game, a text adventure game with the Hulk. This does not seem quite the right character to use for a text adventure game.
Oh my
but hey,
god. Easy badge. Oh yeah, look at that. There's a lot of people that badge this.
oh yeah, for this one, latest master 5. I'm not sure if you meant for the previous one or this one, but looks like it's pretty much the same for both. Look at yourself in the mirror. Get the gem in the ring with Ultron.
What system is this on?
This is another Apple II game.
Oh wow.
So text adventure games, I don't know if you're familiar with like Zork or not the Atari 2600 Adventure, but there's one called like Adventure or a Cave or something like that, where you basically are given descriptions of rooms, like text descriptions of rooms, and you're wandering around and you're interacting with things using a relatively limited vocabulary, like pick up this or get this or use this with that. Kind of the early adventure games that became like point and click later on, where you actually had like an inventory and graphics. But the text adventure game, sometimes with a few graphics to kind of help spread the imagination, were some of like the earliest games out there. I'd actually kind of recommend Zork. Is kind of a fun one. Pretty challenging text adventure game. And a lot of the games from the company that made Zork, Infocom, they actually got really top quality writers to do the story for them. So you have a lot of like Douglas Adams involvement in some of those games, and I can't remember some of the other writers, but some good writers. Some interesting games. I have no idea where this falls relative to those. I would kind of guess it's kind of poor because Marvel's not exactly known for great writing generally. There's a couple of specific instances, but comic book writing is not especially well known for high quality, great writing to stand on its own without the graphics. I don't know. Might be worth a shot just for historical interest, and it looks like it's an easy badge too. So if I ever get Apple II working, maybe I'll give this a shot.
Why Apple II's hard to get working?
At least as far as I've found, it's just hard to find the discs and the ROMs and things. Have I ever read a comic book? Yes, I've read lots of comic books. I've also read lots of novels.
'Tis to be true.
Here is iCarly. So this was I think a Nick show of some kind.
Man, I gotta play this. This game looks, wow. Oh my god! It was
no sarcasm there.
It was a Nickelodeon show. This is for Foxy Saturday stream. Oh, knocker! That's that.
Does he include the live action shows?
I think he was talking about the Hulk one, but this one's, yeah, it was a Nickelodeon show. I think that's really all I remember about it was that, and I think the intro or something.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's all involved in this one. It just says mini games.
Oh, dude, he was talking about iCarly.
Oh, he was talking about iCarly. All right. Yeah, I'm not sure what to comment on this. I never really watched the show, so I'm not sure what it's about. It's probably a pretty girly show. Not really interested in what kind of web games are on it. Just no interest in the series at all. How about you?
Nope, I don't want to play this. Definitely do not want to play this.
It's a game that exists. Give this to somebody you hate.
Yep, this is another one like Cory in the House. No, thank you.
Wow, my friend Whoops is like badging every game. I don't think he's got. Oh, I put in too many requests. Hee hee. All right, go back. Call of Duty. Okay, so after the big red one, here we got Call of Duty 3, also on PS2.
I remember playing this.
And looks like like the other one. Oh no, there's more than that. Okay, so beat the game on hard, and then get kills with different weapons. There you go. Only requires 10 for a mounted gun. I feel like you have to kill more than that with those in those parts of the game.
Yeah, I think so.
Huh. 10 kills on any mission while prone. Well, anyway, kill 4 enemies at the same time. There you go. So there's a couple of fun achievos in there, more than just beat the missions on hard. But there you go. If you like Call of Duty. Let's see. Next we got Medal of Honor Frontline. So this is the opposing series to the Call of Duty series. You got Call of Duty and Medal of Honor, both mostly covering World War II in this era of games. Let's see, normal or higher, hard. So a lot of the same kind of beat the game on hard achievements. Okay, and then beat those missions with gold stars, which I think requires a certain amount of accuracy. Maybe finding some of those secret areas we were talking about earlier. Oh, interesting. Let me know. So there's some specific achievos here too. 30 headshots. Dying resets counter.
How many achievements are in this set?
50.
Wow. For a Call of Duty game too.
Yeah, decently sized set. I mean, the Call of Duty games are there's enough to do in them. There's usually, like maybe 10 to 20 missions, something like that per game. I guess this one is like one. This looks like 7 or 8 missions. 7 or 8 missions on this one. Anyway, pretty straightforward set. Next up, we've got Cubics. Robots for Everyone. Crash and Bash. So I actually popped into this one and gave it a little bit of a try.
What'd you think?
So it is kind of a beat 'em up game. There's no iframes for you or the things you hit, so you can just like go up next to another robot that you're supposed to take down and just wail on it, and it wails on you, and it's just kind of a battle of attrition. And so a lot of the game is like attacking until you get to a point where you need to jump out and get a heal. But whatever other creature you're fighting can also get heals. So you have to not only jump out to get heals, but you have to make sure that the enemy is not getting those heals as well. And there's various power-ups you get as you jump around, and you can like pick up weapons, missiles, various things like that. It's kind of an interesting game. It felt like it. I don't know. Maybe I'd have to put in some more time with it to really have a strong opinion one way or the other. But it was okay. I was thinking I might play this one as the going for like maybe beating the first mission. Bottles Pit here.
Never heard about them anyway. Cubics. Never heard about Cubics games.
Yeah, there's when I looked it up, there was some kind of series for it. So it was a TV show of some kind back in the 2000s.
Must have missed that one.
Yeah, it's kind of TV show. I don't know. Anyway, kind of an interesting game. Next up, we got SpongeBob's Atlantis SquarePantis.
Man, is that a name?
Yeah, say that 3 times fast.
Who's down for some SpongeBob?
Got some damageless Chivos. Got some score Chivos. Got some time attack Chivos.
Knocker says he did play this before.
I would say this is a pretty rough set. Just looking at all the different things in there. Counter 100 times. A Squidward. Okay, so you get to play with different characters here. Not a bad game. You switch between the different characters, and they all have unique abilities. Okay, that could be kind of cool.
That's cool.
And it's a 3D platformer on the DS. So we can take a look at this one real quick. SpongeBob Atlantis, where is DS gameplay?
Alright, on a smaller 2-player storm with OG in the game.
Alright, we could do without the other person's
commentary.
Yeah. You can pick up your buddies and throw them. It's interesting. Interesting. You have kind of a float mechanic there, or a glide mechanic, that kind of form.
Seems like an interesting game. You just fell right down.
I remember the characters having goofy hit sounds, though. Interesting. Well, okay. So this might be a kind of fun game if you like 3D platformers, collectathons, and or SpongeBob. Though the set looks kind of terrifying. A lot of damage lists, like I said, a lot of time attacks, things like that. Though I don't know how difficult the enemies are, so it might not be actually that bad. So maybe worth a shot. Let's go ahead and let's toss this into the review list as well.
Seems interesting, but I mean, if the set's going to be huge like that for a SpongeBob game, it might take you some time.
Well, I mean, even with the damage list stuff, it's still only like 43 achievements, so it's not like a huge set.
It's about average.
Yeah. This is DS. We didn't really get a lot of DS games on the review roundtable. Oh, we can't review DS. That would be why. It's not retro enough. Fair enough. I remember PS2 is not retro enough either. All right, next up we've got an arcade game, the other arcade game we were talking about earlier. So this is a Where's Waldo game, hidden object. Basically just, I actually played a little bit of this. It's basically just, use your cursor and pick out Waldo. You have a really limited time to find him though, so it's actually quite, somewhat challenging with a D-pad. I imagine you can switch over to using like a mouse instead, and it would be a little bit easier. I think in the actual arcade you had a trackball. So
this would have been interesting to see in the arcade.
Yeah, there's a couple of different mini games as well. That it's more than just finding Waldo. So I did, like I said, I started on this one a little bit. It's actually pretty fun. You can kind of cheat by pausing if you really want to, but I tried not to, and I tried to use the D-pad, and it's really easy to run out of time. But there you go. There's also the other thing that's there is one of the mini games that gets repeated on every world is like spot the differences between two different panels. So not a very complicated game, but kind of fun. And I would have said that most of the Where's Waldo games are meme badges.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this one's really a meme badge. It's actually a little bit challenging, especially if you're not pausing.
And with the time challenge, yeah, that's got to make it kind of difficult.
Yeah, because I think there's one, to clear the game without the time ever dropping under the blue bar. I think you basically have to cheat to do that. It's a 50. They made it a 50-pointer In a Where's Waldo game, there's a 50-pointer. It's kind of funny.
Oh, without the timer ever dropping underneath the blue bar. Ooh, that sounds rough.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we've got ODT, Escape or Die Trying, on the PlayStation. So this is a Psygnosis game. So we covered one of a Pirates game last week that was kind of interesting from Psygnosis. This is Psygnosis doing horror in a 3D platforming action adventure game.
I have never heard of this game before.
Yeah, I think I've seen this one in stores, and I think I remember seeing some ads for it, but I never played it. I never saw it played. So might be worth checking out. This is ODT, Escape or Die Trying, PSX gameplay.
The only real horror game I would ever play PS1 would probably be Kudelka, and that's it.
Silent Hill is pretty good.
Silent Hill is good too.
And Resident Evil 1 and 2.
Yeah. What the hell?
That's the opening cinematics. Let's skip to some gameplay here. It's got tank controls, like the way the view is like turning around and around. If it's got tank controls, that's kind of an immediate no from me for a platformer.
Well, this is a big no.
Yeah, the graphics leave a lot to be desired here. They don't really, they kind of leave so much of the world off in space there. That's kind of me.
I mean, does Psygnosis make any good games?
Shadow of the Beast?
And I guess about it.
The Pirates game looked pretty fun.
This looks really bad.
I don't know. I don't know if it's good or bad, but definitely just if it's tank controls, it's pretty bad. And the fact that they've got like no backgrounds,
It's like a black endless void.
Wow, they had a lot of PlayStation games actually. Huh. Sometime we might look into that. Just do a Psygnosis day. Ooh, we could give Foxy a Steam stream, Psygnosis. All right, did we cover everything here? I think that's it. Okay, so that was a extra long list.
Yeah, that was pretty long.
And it's already about like 10 o'clock your time, so it's been about 2 hours.
We're about like an hour 48. You want to go through people, or you wanna go through people and then I guess play a game, or you just want to end it for there and we could start earlier next week?
I mean, I think how long do you think we want to make this show in general? I think maybe this is not really a question to ask on air, but I feel like 2.5 hours is pretty decent. I don't mind if we go longer than that. But,
I don't care.
We're already to this point. Let's go ahead and just finish out and do do what we want to do here and get each segment done, and then going forward we'll try and I don't know, figure out ways to make it fit in like a 2 hour or 2.5 hour window.
We could talk offline about all that.
Yeah. would be odd to show off users who never show up to Scanlines. Yeah, we're just going to talk about our Scanlines community here. So this is the last week, and I went back. So the way the filters work on this thing is if you go to a date within a week's period, it'll show you the whole week's worth. So if I go to like today, it'll be this week. So I'm not really interested that much in what we've been doing just the last couple of days, but I'm sort of looking at what were people doing last week.
Exactly.
So that's why I went to the date that I went to. So starting with folks in our community, we've got Theo. Mame shows up sometime. We could talk about him.
Yeah, but Knocker,
Mr.
you're right. We were definitely, that was one of the things. Like, should we do only the people in our community or other people? And Baron, you know, when I came to the conclusion, we're only going to do people within our Scanline community. So it's pretty cool. Just go through all that. And plus,
making them badges go. See, yeah. Sorry, what?
No, I was going to say too. It's also kind of interesting to see the progression that we make from a Monday to another Monday. That's what I'm really excited about. That's why I'm really glad we're doing this on a Monday too. Me, I don't know. My stuff's boring. I'm just going after high score high scores for shooters.
We're not gonna be too interested in Sark.
Nah.
And Sark is number 3. He's a badge monster. Chrono's like number 8. He's also a badge monster.
Chrono shows up to Scanlines.
Oh, okay. Let's talk Chrono then. And Wise, I don't know if I've seen Wise in Scanlines, but he's a good friend of ours. He's been doing the punch out sets. Anyway, so we got Theo Vellum. Theo's shown up a couple times. He's actually popped in voice chat a time or two as we were doing Monster Hunter, if I remember right.
Yeah, Wise Man's a beast when it comes to games, like a sheer beast.
Especially for those punch out games, he's doing pretty well on them. Anyway, so here's Theo. He's been working on Flower, Sun, and Rain: Murdered Mystery in Paradise. That sounds interesting. Is it like a detective game? It's an adventure game. Ooh, can't say those graphics wow me. Grasshopper Manufacture. That's interesting. So these are the guys that made No More Heroes. Huh. It's walking. Open costumes. Open the uniforms. Rising Star Games. That might be kind of interesting, though I will say that the graphics are not wowing me.
Yeah, definitely not.
He's been playing some Mario All-Stars. Looks like he mastered that. Streets of Rage 2. Still some classics. Sonic Adventure 2. He's got a handful of quite a few badges here. I haven't really interacted with Theo much, so. Anyways. Next up we got Mame. I haven't really seen Mame in Scanlines recently, but he used to show up more often. He's on the Discord quite often. He's been working on East 3. Looks like he just bought some items there. Didn't really go through the dungeon or beat bosses. Played some Super Mario 64, some Star Fox, some Mega Man X. I remember he was really excited about Star Fox 2 when that got a set. So he's busy, but he says he don't badge. Might be able to get him streaming again. I saw he listed in I don't know if it was on Scanline's Discord, but he had mastered some stuff. It's like he mastered one here. Getting pretty close to TMNT 4. Turtles in Time. That's a classic. Dynamite Cop. Fantasy Star
Turtles in
Portable.
Time is pretty cool. Mega Man X.
Yeah, he's been playing a lot of games. A lot of different games. Next up, we got Mr. Saiyan. I see you booted up Star Soldier at least. Played some
Yes.
Arrow Flash.
I'm at 50, and that was like 2 hours it took me to get there for Arrow Flash. So I think my strat on Arrow Flash is going to be just straight go through hard mode and just beat Arrow Flash on hard mode.
I'm disappointed in you, sir. I see
Hmm.
no badges. I see no Chivos even.
No, I don't. I try to badge things here and there. I mean, it is what it is with me. I have to get. I'm like Air Zonk and the other one. I'm close to badging like Air Zonk and uh the other badge, which is Ghost Sweeper. But the boss damage list is really hard for Ghost Sweeper, so might have to take some time and just really sit down and try to do that.
You've been working on Barney's hide and seek too.
Yeah. Wolfie gave me that one. I was like, yeah, it's kind of cool. I'm really liking. I mean, I love Arrow Flash, so that's what I'm really working on right now. Is going to try to be Arrow Flash.
All right. Fair enough, sir. Fair enough.
It's actually going to be kind of cool because I was talking to Owaz, and with the System Club, everything's going to be done through RetroArch for me. So it's going to be achievements heavy, and I'm going to be looking into a lot of like different achievements and stuff like that for games that we're going to be playing on the System Club. So that might actually be a lot of fun too.
That'd be fun. Next up, we got Cosmic here. Cosmic's been played the review game. Looks like he got up to. Well, he got a bunch of upgrades. He also did not finish track 1. I'm there with you, Cosmic. I was not able to finish the first level on that one.
Oh, Marble Madness.
No, Psycho Dream. Psycho Dream. He didn't finish track 1 there. Could be the boss. You got farther than I did if you got to the boss. I tried a few times, did not get to the boss.
The boss is the first level?
Yeah, of Psycho Dream.
You gotta get all the upgrades.
You got Jade Cocoon. Looks like you just booted that one up. And then Marble Madness. That one has some pretty tricky parts to it. The aerial race, the hammers at the end of the aerial race, are just kind of a pain to get through. And then played some new Ghostbusters. I think we've got a monthly melee for new Ghostbusters. So he's probably working on that one. And then this was our challenge game of the week. Was Timon and Pumbaa's Jungle Games. I gotta give that one a try. Play some pinball at some point. Next up, we got RVK. He's been playing some Secret of Mana, classic. And
Secret of Mana is fun.
On Game Boy.
Oh wow!
Interesting.
Yeah.
And Shaq Fu looks like he just beat it, just booted it up. There's your favorite series there, Street Fighter Alpha. He's playing. And then you got Drake, and we watched Drake play a bunch of Legend of Zelda. He went through a bunch of those achievements. What he's got left here? Damage list, damage list, damage list, damage list, ring list. First quest without a sword, without being killed.
He really burned through them quick.
Mm-hmm.
He knew what he was doing with those, so.
Yeah, the damage lists are going to be pretty rough, but it looks like he got, and the sword list was pretty rough, so doing good. He's been badging a lot of he got some of the meme badges, and he got Phantasy Star, so this one he put on my request list, so I got to play it. Thursday.
Oh, Phantasy Star.
Yep. Good stuff. And then what I've been working on. So I've been grinding away at the new Tetris subset where you just have to grind out like 500,000 lines. So I figure if I do 1,000 lines a day of that, then sometime next year I will have the patch for this one.
Jeez.
But you can get it's not impossible to get 1,000 lines in one go on one of these. It's not too bad, especially I've been doing about two sessions a day, so I've been getting around like 1,200, 1,300 a day. It's not too bad. And I gave that Alien Invaders a try, and Cubics a try, Wally a try, and I've been working on Etrian Odyssey. Getting there.
How much is
I got
left?
the
Oh man, you got some left for yo.
yeah, I beat the final boss, or not the final boss, I beat the
boss.
story boss. So there's another true final boss to beat later on. But I'm making good progress. I got Zash, who's one of our resident shoot 'em up masters. He's been playing interesting Simple 2000 series on the PlayStation 2. So I think that's like a collection of older games. That's what that one is. Firepower. That's kind of a classic. Elemental Master.
Elemental Master's good.
Yeah, I saw you played the Scheme. That's kind of neat. I wish I would have seen his stream playing it if he did stream it.
Did you badge this game?
I did.
That's
It's
awesome.
a very, very early Metroidvania on PC-88, and it's got Yuzo Koshiro doing the music. So
yeah, the music's gonna be good.
Like the game by itself, without the music, is like at best like a 3 out of 10 or a 4 out of 10. It's not a great game. Kind of bad, but the music is like 12 out of 10. So kind of worth it for that, or just find the soundtrack somewhere. Knocker says Scheme looks pretty awful. I mean, you have to play it keeping in mind that it was on a computer, on a very early computer. Next up, we got Foxy. He's continuing to work on the Portrait of Ruin badge. He's almost there. Got quite a few. I'm not sure where you obtain those in the Castlevania. Defeat Death in both forms of Dracula on New Game Hard Level 1 CAP.
Oh wow, he's also got Harvest Moon.
Yeah, he's playing. He's been playing Harvest Moon and Pangea.
I like Harvest Moon.
Those are gonna be long badges.
Yeah,
and
Harvest Moon. Wow, look at that badge.
Yeah, he's working on Silent Hill 3 as well. Looks like he badged Harvest Moon 3 though. That's pretty impressive. That's on the Game Boy Color. Hey, Guru Game Boy, thank you for the raid. Welcome on in.
Hey, Guru Game Boy.
We're kind of the tail end of the show here. We we went through the list of the last week's worth of retro achievements. We're doing we moved our Ari review to Monday nights because we've been playing Monster Hunter Rise for our Monster Hunter game, and it's it's too new to pair with retro achievements, so we decided to move it over here. He made the new badge art for Harvest Moon 3 because he wanted a better one. Nice. So yeah, Guru, we were just going through kind of our community and seeing what our community's been doing on retro achievements, kind of stalking them, you know. Here's Naku's page. Oh, he's been getting pretty far into Symphony of the Night. That's impressive. Just beat the creature, which I think is the essentially the Frankenstein monster.
Yes, that's correct.
And okay, so he's just playing those 3 on the main game. I want to say from watching other people go for the badge, I think the hardest part is probably the Richter playthrough. Yeah, so that's probably gonna be the hardest part.
I'm gonna try the Wing Smash and see how far I get in that.
Working on the Wing Smash thing shouldn't be too bad. And looks like you booted up Sparkster. I think you badged this quite a while ago, right? So you're just playing this and probably playing this for the challenge. If you haven't, or did you badge this one this week or this last week for the challenge?
Sparkster's crazy.
Do it in the reverse castle. Yeah, some guy took some leaderboards. One of them is so fast. I don't know, man.
Wow.
Marble Madness years ago. Oh, you mastered Marble Madness years ago? Gotcha. Yeah, it's a fun. I was really surprised how much fun I had with that one. I really hated it as a kid. I couldn't get the ball to go where I wanted it to go. But playing it as an adult, it's like, this is actually pretty fun. Pretty fun little game, and good soundtrack too. Yeah, and Mega Man X6 got the getting close to that subset, worth a ton too. And I remember seeing you got the really huge set.
Oh, the Mega Man set, yeah.
Yeah, this one. GG's again on this one, man. That is nuts. I mean, I guess it's probably not that bad if you've already done all the other Mega Man X games and gotten the achievements in the games by themselves, and you're just going through. But that battle and chase was, battle and chase looked really, really tedious. Man, that sucked when Nestor put a higher score like 30 minutes before deadline. Those last two are nuts. I can only try them first. Next question was fun besides Battle and Chase on max difficulty. Honestly, when I did the last playthroughs, I started enjoying Battle and Chase. Well, nice.
Yeah, when Nestor throws up a score, it gets crazy. So yeah, he does some really, really, really good scores.
Do you have shoutouts turned on? We should probably give Guru a shout out here.
I don't know. I think they have to be turned on. Oh yeah, they go on.
We got Nightbot at least. Duh. Yeah, man. Sorry for the tardiness there. I just think somebody would get it. But anyway, welcome in, man. Next up we got Chrono. So Chrono's been going for the Dragon Quest V subset. Items in the FFDs. So this is where you get different monsters to join your party. And yeah, it's like you recruit monsters. I'll need to go back and play this because I don't think I ever figured out how to recruit monsters in Dragon Quest V. But
it looks like an interesting badge. A lot of stuff in that badge, though.
Yeah, this is one of the subsets. There's a main set too. So yeah, you basically have to beat the game twice at least.
Jeez.
I got Lion King. Didn't badge it though. So on Super Nintendo.
I think that's the better one than the Genesis, to be honest with you.
Sonic Jam. I never played that one. Time Splitters 2. Ooh, we watched Sark badge Time Splitters 2. That one had some pretty tedious ones.
What system is Time Splitters 2 for?
That's a PS2 FPS. I think that covers it for at least as far as people that had stuff in the last week.
Mm-hmm.
So we're on the final part of the show here. We're each going to pick one of these games that came out this last week, and try for an achievement on them. So I think I'm going to go for this Find Waldo one.
Symphony of Night's my favorite one too. It's got a good soundtrack.
Nice.
Symphony of Night's really good. I enjoyed that one.
I think I'm gonna go for, I guess, Clear World 2. So what game are you going for, sir?
Well, I'm probably gonna be playing a game that is a shooter. So I'm probably gonna be going for that N64 game.
All right, let me switch out and share RetroArch. Oh, Knocker just got the Wing Smash. GG, sir.
Oh wow, that's awesome, Knocker. Damn, good job. Yeah, I think I just gotta sit down and try it. That's it. Yes, Game Boy Guru. That is the game.
All right, let me see if I can get the this to work like a tracker ball.
You're gonna be playing Where's Waldo, right?
Yeah. Let's see if this will work.
All right, let's do this. Yeah, it has a timing. You're better off doing. You're right. You're right. I almost had it there too. And then I was like, I don't know. Whatever. Regular beginner. I've never played this game before, so. All right, let's exit this. Oh man.
Him? Is that not him?
Oh, I didn't know the screen was darked out, blacked out like that. Ooh. I definitely want maxed out. Okay, now saving. Alright, so we gotta do one mission. Oh, I don't like using the joystick for this. So weird. But whatever. Total I'm having. So what are your oh, okay, so that's your super. Those are your power-ups. I see.
Guru says you can use the D-pad for Star Soldier.
I love Star Soldier. Up, 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 I'm getting some kind of slowdown.
Okay, you're supposed to rub his foot.
Oh, I'm thinking of a different game. It's not this one. Yeah, I have to set it up for the D-pad. I was going for a high score in Arrow Flash.
This game is so nuts.
I used to love the Where's Waldo books. Arrow Flash is. I really, really enjoy Arrow Flash. I'm probably gonna play Hellfire S on my channel eventually, because that's one of the games on my 13 console challenges I wanted to beat. I love the story in Hellfire S, so I think it's a solid story. It's a solid game. I think I got it for PC Engine. I don't remember. And then I was looking at Steam Hearts for Saturn. Oh, this guy looks awesome. Look at him. What is going on? What are your patterns, buddy? Ooh. Blow the Gundam up. I gotta figure out resourcing on this computer if I'm gonna be playing these type of games. Throw the bomb. All right, I got the first two. Steam Hearts. I beat this. Is that all we're doing?
Well, I'm gonna keep going, but I got what I wanted to do, which is just beat World 2.
I'm kind of enjoying this. I'm gonna see if I can beat the next stage. Yeah, Steam Hearts. I know, but I always wanted that game, Steam Hearts, just to say, hey, I got that shmup in my collection. I'm like, oh. And then I don't. Oh, I have massive slowdown. I don't have Radiant Silver Gun, so that's another one I'm gonna see if I can go ahead and get a hold of. Burning Angels. But I ranked, like, just with me playing for 2 hours, I ranked 10th on Arrow Flash. That set was stupid easy. Once you started going through that, use your bombs.
Nice. Guru got the Radiant Silver Gun for Switch.
Oh, is that good? Radiant Silver Gun for Switch? I saw that, and I think it came with the ship too, like a metal. What was this? Some sort of metal puzzle that you could build the ship for it.
Oh, jeez.
Based on a 360 port, which is also pretty good. The 360 port for Radiant. I think the original Radiant was on Saturn, right?
'60 port, which started pretty good.
This is actually, I gotta give you credit on telling me about this one. This is a really smooth game.
Nice.
I also want to try again Ikaruga on Dreamcast. I think for RA I'm going to be doing the high score stuff and just play the game normally through.
That was a lot of clicking. That wasn't very good for my mouse. Oh boy.
I took some hits there. I definitely took some hits there.
PC is chugging with this game, he says.
Yeah, it is. It is. It is. I know. I see that. I got to get a better... I have a PC. I just need a better one.
Oh, that is done. Okay, good.
Done. Clear. Well, both beat stage 2 in our game. This game's a lot smoother on real hardware. Or the Mister.
I lost. I ran out of time. I took too much time on the previous stage.
Oh, and Sapphire. I really, really would like to beat Sapphire at some point.
Well, feel free to make fun of me. I got a game over on a Where's Wally game.
That's cool. I got a game over on a Barney game. When I was playing it when DW gave it to me.
Plays well enough on the N64 Mr. Core. Yeah, Drake was telling us about that. The N64 Mr. Core. That it was working pretty well.
Yeah, I was having some issues with that there. Oh no, I blew up. What game are you starting up?
Well, I could keep going for the badge on this one. If I wanted to. I'll go ahead and since you're still going, I'll go ahead and bring up the that other game that I was trying, the one on Magnavox. It's pretty bad.
Oh God. You mean the one that's exactly like Space Invaders except garbage?
Well, it's not exactly like, but it's a really bad Space Invaders clone. Yeah. I don't think I have the emulator on this one. I think I have to go to my other standalone. One sec. Bring that one up. Let me share that one.
This had to be an arcade. I think it might have... I feel like this was an arcade game The way this plays. I can only imagine the Mister. Once I get the Polymega and I get the N64 core, fully Polymega, then I'll see about this. They're apparently
You
giving.
do you want to share mine on stream? I had to switch over to my other recharge.
Yeah, I can't. I don't know why it's not letting me pause. Let's do that. Sure, I don't mind at all. And let's go here. Let's go to. I'm getting so much better at this video participant stuff. Oh, okay. It really plays like an arcade game. Sounds like an arcade game too. Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting like a lot of audio interference with this one. Oh, I'm not expecting him to drop bombs like that, am I? I don't know, Baron. You may have pushed me to do the set for this one. If I can figure this, boss out, if my computer won't shoot to the moon. Yeah, this is horrific slowdown. Oh my god, I think my computer's gonna blow up. Oh jeez. Well, guys, if you understand why I'm no longer here, it's because my computer blew up. Oh man, that was good. That was good. What do you do? Oh, you're playing that one, Baron?
Uh-huh. Dude, this one is rough.
It really looks bad. Yeah, it doesn't look... Looks alright. Okay. Let me just give myself enough players. Normal hour flash, I'm gonna do a charge. Exit. Alright, buddy, let's go through, let's do this. Submit high score challenge for normal. Sure. Oh wow, I'm even chugging. Oh, right. Oh, because I didn't turn on the whatever it is. So rapid, I'm gonna leave. Charge. Yeah, I want to do charge this time. Charge makes it easier to kill the guys anyway. You just charge up and this, especially that one guy with that stupid tail. Oh, he's aggravating. Much better.
God darn it.
Yeah, when I try to stream in Discord, it really... Oof. I get really bad slowdown on the game.
Oh, Oh yeah, you're streaming both, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
You should just do one or the other.
It's fine. Just is causing me to really screw up. Let's see, what time is it? 10:47. Well, let me know when you're done if you want to either raid someone or.
Let me just finish this level. I'm almost there.
So for this one, what are you gonna be? Well, we'll let you go for. What are you gonna be working on this week?
Etrian Odyssey is still my main game that I'm working on. Okay, that's enough. So I'll be working primarily on Etrian Odyssey, and then my Thursday is gonna be my request day, so I'll be playing. I'll continue working on Disgaea for Cosmic, Super Smash for Manny. I think I had some other ones on request. But yeah, I'll be doing those things. And then Fridays are Falcom Fridays, so I'll be back to work on Ys 1, all the ports of Ys 1 and Ys 2 and Ys 3, seeing how far I get. I've been trying to attack them by going through and getting up to the second boss was kind of my goal on last Friday on every version, and I ended up getting stuck on the MSX version because of the screen scrolling. It takes forever, and you really can't use speed up. You'll end up dead.
I saw you doing that, yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna try and get at the very least the second boss down in the MSX version, and then maybe I need to get in the PC-88 version. There's a badge for finishing the game without while collecting all of the villagers' lost goods, but not giving any of them back. It's called Finders Keepers. So I have a save game right now past the second boss, where I'm ready to go into the mines, and I've already leveled quite a bit. But I'm gonna probably just overwrite that and go forward with a new game with not selling back any of the lost goods. So that's my plan. How about you?
It's probably going to be a lot of Arrow Flash this week. I want to finish that out. I'm going to do it on hard mode, so I'm going to have to learn, not really learn, but figure out a strategy for hard mode for each individual boss, and then just go from there. It's going to mainly be Arrow Flash this week.
All right. So
try that out, see how that goes. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of shoot 'em ups.
All right, let's see who is on that we can raid. Lord Pookums is on. He's playing some Streets of Rage, and he's appropriate because he's also doing retro achievements. He doesn't really go for badges necessarily. He mostly just goes for beating the game and or maybe beating the game on hard. He doesn't worry too much about that. About the badge.
Drake is actually going for Zelda Swordless.
Oh, Drake is? Oh, Drake's streaming?
Yep.
Let's go raid Drake then.
Drake's really good people. And I think that Zelda Swordless badge is a pain from what he said. So we're definitely going to go raid Drake. And everyone did. Thanks. Oh, thanks, Baron. Yeah, Game Boy Guru, I'm shmups all the time. Anytime, all the time. So I really want to start attacking those high scores. But yeah, everyone, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it, and we're going to be moving this to Mondays. Baron and I are going to be working on retro, our retro achievement games and stuff, or whatever games come up. And Baron, thanks for that good N64 game. That was actually pretty good. I might actually try that one too.
Cool. I'm glad you're liking it.
I did. It was good.
To echo saying, thanks everybody for coming out. Thank you very much for the raid, Guru. Cosmic, Knocker, Slippy. I know Slippy already went to bed, but I think Sonic Ichigo is here too. Master Welch. yeah, thanks everybody for coming out, and hope you had a good night. And
Mhm.
feel free to toss us any ideas you have for making the show better. This is our first night, so we'll hopefully. I think it went a little long. We'll try to be a little bit more timely going forward. But maybe
We're
keep it to, like,
passionate
2
about
to 2.5
our
hours.
stuff, so that's why I want.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're passionate.
All right. Get you guys later.
All right, later, everyone.